Good afternoon, hello, my name is Daniel, this is the TriathlonDan YouTube channel, but today I'm talking to you about this bike. This is my Canyon Grizl, but I'm soon to be going on my first ever gravel bike packing adventure, so I've had to do quite a few things to this bike, so I'm going to talk you through what I've picked and why. Now, I'm by no means an expert, and this is like untested pretty much, so if you've got any thoughts, let me know in the comment section down below. So the event or the ride I'm actually doing is I'm riding across the Canary Islands, some road, some gravel. We're doing 4 or 5 days self-supported bike packing but staying in hotels, so is it bike packing or not, I don't know, and then 4 or 5 days where we're staying in one place. So I only need to sustain myself for like 4 days. Obviously we're stopping in hotels overnight so I can charge things and refill things and so on, but all my clothes and equipment and spares and tools I'm having to carry. So let me talk you through what is on the bike and why. I haven't changed anything really about the the core of the bike itself. The gearing is the same as what it normally is. It's SRAM Explorer 1044 rear cassette and a 42 front chainring. If I had a absolute blank check choice, yeah, I might have put a smaller chainring on, but for this one event I'm not going to change the whole gearing for it. Mountain bike pedals, hacked into some Favera Asiera pedals. A big change I've made is the tyres. Thank you Dylan Johnson for the inspo. 2.1 inch mountain bike tyres. Now these Schwalbe Thunderbirds are quite fast mountain bike tyres, so I'm told and so I read, but then I do think there's too much choice in the mountain bike tyre world because there's two different compounds in this range, and I've got the more rugged compound rather than the more race compound. It's going to be quite rocky and quite sandy, and we're going to be doing some road, but most of it is going to be gravel, so I wanted some grip. I didn't want this to be too heavy rolling resistance wise, and I think this is a good compromise. I'm a heavy rider, I'm carrying lots of heavy things, so having big tyre volume means I can run slightly lower pressures, hopefully run less risk of having a puncture, and it being a bit more comfy as well, because I'm told it's quite bumpy. Onto the bags and things I've put on the bike. Now, I have tested some of this, as in how I actually ride the bike and what I use things for. This top 2 bag is just going to have food in it, just snacks, just sweets and gels and whatever else to eat during the day. It's quite easy to access. This bag on the bike there is going to be what I'm going to be using during the day. So I'm talking GoPros, power bank, wires. I will also, I would imagine, be stuffing food in there that I'm buying each day to get me through the day or when we stop and so on. What else is in there? Paracetamol, GoPro batteries, the emergency gel. That's pretty much it. I'm hoping there's going to be a bit of space in there so that during the day, if I want to just put anything in there, that I'm going to have space to be able to do so. The bag on the front of the bike, now this isn't actually completely full. I wanted to allow myself some space because I think when I'm packing now at home and I've got time and everything's folded, fits in really well. When I'm 2-3 days in, tired, long days on the bike, I'm going to just be throwing stuff in the bag. So I wanted to give myself a bit more space. I did try and get away without using this, to be honest, but I wasn't quite able to. I could just fit stuff in the back, but as I say, I think it's going to be a bit too stressful. So in this front back bag, I've pretty much only got a pair of swimming shorts, a pair of goggles and a jacket, because I think if I want a jacket, I'm going to be going there specifically for it, and swimming shorts and goggles is an end of day thing if we finish at a reasonable time, and there's a bit of space in there to chuck anything in there if I want to. The bag behind the saddle has got everything else in there that I need day to day, so clothing. So I'm taking 2 sets of cycling kit. Obviously I'll have one on and then one spare. I do think I'll be able to wash in the evening and dry overnight and wear the next day, but I wouldn't want to put on wet bibs and risk chafing. And also I think if I do have a fall and I rip a jersey or something, I'll kick myself if I've not taken a spare one, so that's in there. I've also got a pair of flip-flops and 1 pair of shorts and a t-shirt for the whole thing. And what else have I got in there? That is about it. It's taken up quite a bit of space. Obviously in there's toiletries as well, and sun cream and plugs and those sorts of things. So everything that I need is pretty much in there. This bag is a Pod Sacks bag, and so is the front one. They're from Planet X. They're actually quite good, good value, to be honest. They're not that expensive. These Apidura bags on the frame, I bought these when I bought the bike. I can't remember how much they were, but they weren't cheap. But these were a lot cheaper. I did look at other more popular bike packing brands, but I did just think that they're so expensive. I wanted to look around and see if I could find something a bit cheaper. The thing I don't like about this is it does swing around quite a bit. You don't feel it too much when you're riding normally, but when you get out of the saddle, it does swing around a lot. Now I have tightened these straps as much as I can, and it doesn't really get any better than that. So it's just a bit annoying really, but other than that, what can you do? In terms of electronics and what I'm using, the Favera pedals will probably last all week on the battery, not a problem. I've got a Garmin 1040 Solar, which will last a long time. I might need to charge it once or twice. I've got SRAM E-tap, so I've got a spare E-tap battery, and I've also got, you know, blips on the extensions and shifters on there, so if something packs up, hopefully I've got enough options to be able to change it, and I've got a spare battery as well. All of my actual like tools and spares are in the bottle under the bottom bracket. I've got in there one inner tube, a multi-tool, tyre levers, like tubeless repair kit. I've got 80mm of sealant that I'm carrying as well, just in case it really goes Pete Tong, tyre boots, all those sorts of things spread out between there and there, to be honest. So I think that'll be enough, and Dan, who I'm going with, will also be taking some spares as well. Fluids was the biggest challenge for us with this thing, and there's going to be long stretches where we're going in between like towns and not able to get water for a while, and even if the stops aren't that far apart, if we're struggling riding up hills on big heavy bikes, it might be a couple of hours to do 15 miles or so. So we just really wanted to be able to carry at least 3 litres, so I have got 3 litres on the bike, 2 bottles on the frame with lids on, and then 2 on the forks. I didn't have enough bottles with lids. What I do plan to do is drink these and then just refill these so I can drink from a clean lid rather than a dirty one, but I will be interested to see how mucky these bottles get on the front, given that they're hopefully ahead of like dust being flicked up, but I don't know, we'll see. That is about it. Now, aero bars, I know they're a bit controversial, people don't really rate them for gravel, and I just think I might not be able to use them much, but I do like that there's another position there. If I'm getting towards the end of the week, I'm feeling like I'm like, you know, shoulders aching and so on, and there's a long road section into a headwind, like I can just get on these bars and just feel like I'm just in a bit of a different position. And as I said earlier, I think the shifters are a big advantage. I've also got a big front light in a bag and a rear light in the bag as well. I think on a couple of days we're going to get caught out with finishing quite late, so having a decent front light will be helpful, and that will just bolt onto my computer mount at the front. There's plenty of space there to get it on. What else have I done? Well, freshly fitted tyre, fresh sealant, I've freshly waxed chain, cleaned the bike, brake pads are nearly new, just giving it a good sort of, you know, once over and made sure that hopefully everything is okay. I'm also pretty keen to like protect the frame, so whenever I put bags on, I put like tape under the straps so that it's not rubbing the paint away. Same as on the front there, I've put some gaffer tape on the front, it's a bit thicker than electrical tape, just to stop that bag rubbing away at the frame or pushing the hoses against the frame and rubbing away. I just try and like, I know it's a gravel bike and it's going to get chipped and scuffed, and it already is, but where possible I'm going to try and, like, you know, extend, even on the seat post, put gaff tape on the seat post, just because all that swinging, like, I don't want it rubbing away the carbon, I don't want to trash it if I don't have to. And yeah, that is about it. I've got some space here to chuck, I think, like if I have a particularly like sweaty day and I want to change my jersey, I can pop something in there. What else have I got? That's about it. Let me know if I've missed anything down below, and I will be happy to answer any questions. But that is my gravel, I'm going to call it ultra endurance bike packing setup Canyon Grizl. Can't wait to get going. Hopefully it's going to be one hell of an adventure. What does it weigh? Well, with everything on it now, without the bottles filled, there is carb mix in the bottles but no fluid, just because I'm prepared for day one. All my kit, all my clothes, cameras, battery packs, everything, this is 16.5 kilos. So that means with 3 litres of fluid, that's just over 20 kilos, just under 20 kilos, which is a heavy setup, but I don't see how I could have done this much lighter other than ditching that front bag. I still need the stuff that's in the bag, so it's not like I could have lost loads and loads of weight. So my friend Dan, who's coming with me, his bike, well, he reckons his setup is about 3 kilos lighter, but he hasn't got the aero bars, he hasn't got batteries and cameras and stuff, and it's just one of those things, I think. So yeah, pretty happy with it. Can't wait to get stuck in, but this is intimidating with how heavy it feels, so yeah, can't wait to get stuck in.